Hey, it's Rachel Cooke, your modern mentor. I'm the founder of Lead Above Noise, where we help leaders design work so that results, wellness, and engagement all thrive together. And if you're a leader of a team wishing you could get more from and do more for your team, then come join the complimentary roundtable discussion I'll be having on this very topic on September 17th, 2025 at 1 p.m. Eastern. You can learn more and register for free at leadabovenoise.com/workdesign. Okay, on to today's episode. So, do you have that movie that kind of splits your life into a before and an after? I do. Mine is called Taibo Live Advanced Volume 3. And you may be thinking, that does not sound like a movie. That sounds like a workout DVD. And you'd be kind of right. But also, I would tell you to go ask my friend Gabby. See, one night shortly after I'd finished college, Gabby invited me over for movie night. I showed up, I plopped on her couch, I dove into the popcorn, ready to laugh or cry or be terrified. So when she hit play and I came suddenly face to face with some very jaunty music and a bunch of hella fit folks in some neon spandex, I was a little speechless. See, Gabby didn't love fitness, but she loved Billy Blanks. And this was the night he changed my life. See, up until that moment, I was a runner. By which I mean I did a thing that I called running, but I was not a runner in my heart. If I'm honest, I hated it. No shade to running. It just didn't work for me. But I did it because it gave me results. It helped me shed a little extra college weight and dial up my cardio and feel a little more awake. But also, it gave me bursitis and shin splints and a terrible attitude. It made me cranky and I dreaded every step. But on this night, Billy showed me that getting the results I craved could actually be fun, like even joyful, a way that actually gave me energy instead of draining it. And that's the point for us at work. Too often we are forcing ourselves and our teams to run, even when it's depleting us. We believe it's the only way to deliver results. But what if there were other ways? What if we could be a little more creative? See, in my recent work design leadership cohorts, I've been seeing leaders test some really small, cool, unconventional shifts that delivered better results and more engagement. And today I wanted to share 4 that have really stood out for me. And if your organization could use a talk or a program on achieving this, shoot me a note at rachel@leadabovenoise.com. I would love to be your Billy Blanks. Okay, here goes. The first one was learn through customers. I had a sales leader in my group who knew that her team was really hungry for some learning and development, and she knew she owed it to them. But also, they were struggling to hit their targets for the quarter, and she understood that if she pitched a training or development program to her boss, he would tell her that the team needed to really focus on fixing their numbers before asking to be invested in. I know. So this leader decided to try a little creativity. What if they could find a way to infuse a little bit of learning into their efforts to hit said quota? So she set a team challenge. For a 2-week period, she asked her team members to turn every client interaction into a learning moment. Each salesperson was tasked with asking one learning question in every customer call. Like, what is one thing that you wish vendors better understood about working with you? Or what's something you've learned recently that you wish we better understood, or that's helped you to do your work better? So they did this inquiry, and they came back together as a team, and they collectively shared and organized their learnings, and they put into action anything they could. Now, did this replace their desire for leadership development? It didn't. But what it did do was show the leader's commitment to and creativity around learning. And also, it enhanced the quality of their sales conversations. It exacerbated their results. At the end of this program, the leader was delighted to report that her team was on track to hit or maybe even exceed that quarter's quota. It felt like a big win. Next, we have rotate ownership of how we meet. Another leader was struggling with bland, low-energy, low-impact meetings with her team. The team leader considered actually just canceling the meetings, but ultimately, she believed that there was value in the connection and conversation, and things needed to be discussed. So there was a vow to experiment. This leader decided to give each team member the opportunity to design and run a meeting as they saw fit. The leader was clear about the meeting's purpose and intent, what it had to achieve. But then they empowered their team to try some new ways of getting there. The first week, that meeting leader cut the agenda in half and created space for some open problem solving. Another one kicked off with a round of quick wins, where everyone got to share something they were ready to celebrate that week, and they did a little bit of recognition before diving in. A third started with a quick warm-up exercise called I'm the Only One Who, and everyone was asked to fill in the blank, to share with their teammates where they felt like they were alone or the only one who had a particular experience or belief or challenge. It was hugely connective and trust-building. The point is, this manager didn't have to fix everything on their own. They just needed to empower their team. Not only did the meetings get a little spicier and the results got stronger, but giving that ownership to team members actually became an engagement strategy of its own. The next one I'll call Silent Starts. I had a leader of a product team in this group who was frustrated that her brainstorms were dominated by the loudest voices in the room. The same 3 people always filled the air, and the quieter colleagues tended to check out. So she flipped the script. She started each brainstorm with 10 minutes of silence. Everybody wrote or sketched their ideas before speaking up. And when the sharing began, the introverts on the team had had a chance to process their ideas, and they were more ready to speak. And the range and quality of ideas doubled. People who rarely contributed now had space, and the team realized they had been leaving creativity on the table simply because of how they'd structured the conversation. And the last one, I'm going to call role reversals. So another leader in this cohort tried swapping recurring responsibilities. For 1 week, one leader who usually ran the ops sync traded with another who owned customer escalations. The point wasn't for them to compete, to try to outdo each other's jobs. It was really to see the work through a new lens. Team members gained empathy for each other's challenges and spotted opportunities to simplify or support in ways they hadn't before. The swaps didn't upend the business. They were pretty low stakes, but they sparked insights no amount of discussion around the table had ever produced. The big idea here is this: running isn't the only way to get fit, and grinding through the same routines isn't the only way to deliver results. Sometimes the unconventional move, asking customers to teach you, rotating ownership of how you work, starting with silence, swapping responsibilities, it can be the one that delivers both better outcomes and a better experience. And notice that none of these was complex. None took planning, none took money. They were easy and quick to implement. I hope something in this episode compels you to take an action. Don't forget to sign up for the Work Design Roundtable at leadabovenoise.com/workdesign. Or if you're interested in running a cohort for work design inside your organization, head over to leadabovenoise.com/connect and fill out a contact form. You can follow Modern Mentor on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Find and follow me on LinkedIn. Thanks so much for listening and have a successful week. Modern Mentor is a quick and dirty tips podcast. Thanks to the QDT team, audio engineer Dan Feierabend, director of podcasts Holly Hutchings, ad operations specialist Morgan Christensen, marketing manager Rebecca Sebastian, and our marketing contractor Nat Hoops.